What's up, guys? John Howell here, of course. Hope you're doing well. Listen, I've come on to do this little video for you because I want to give you some encouragement when you're looking at these markets or you're trying to get ahead in life, in life at all, or even when you're trying to get ahead, in the markets. And I'm doing this video here for an encouragement to help you and give you some neutralize your journey when it comes to your trading and when it comes to you getting ahead of the markets. And so that's the reason why I'm doing this quick little stream for you guys to help you guys out here. See, the thing is this, guys, is that when you are trading the markets and when you're trying to get ahead in the markets and when you're trying to do really well in the markets, it can be hard. In fact, no, it is hard. It is difficult. And it's one of the most, I believe, trading the markets is one of the most difficult things out there to do, really is, because it's not just, you're not just dealing with your own emotions, but you're dealing with your own, your own money. So you're dealing with that emotions in the markets. And not only that, but then you got your own beliefs in the markets. Not only that, but you've got other people telling you what you can or cannot do in the markets. Not only that, but now you got to be able to clear away from all the clutter and all the crap that is out there in the marketplace to know what to focus on and what to do. And so I'm coming on right now. I'm just doing my trading this afternoon, and I'm so excited about this year, guys. I really, really, really am. I'm so excited for the markets. To be honest, guys, last year was one of my most powerful years, as in making the most progress in my own trading. Last year was, and so I'm coming here to do this video for you because if you're going through a hard time right now in the markets, the thing is that you're forming a crack habit, I see. What is that? This what the hell is a crack habit? Me, not me. Anyway, the thing is that I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, the thing that I wanted to do, and I don't know why I'm holding my thing like this here. This is my drink that I normally have in. I don't know why I'm holding my thing right here, right now with this. But firstly, guys, I wanted to say thank you so much for all the feedback I've been getting from the videos. I've been, as you can see, right, I've come out of this year like a gun-ho releasing all these videos for you. So I've been hoping you've been enjoying. I've been releasing so much free education just to help you. He's holding it like a Is that a game, Paul? Anyway, I hope thank you so much for all the feedback I've been getting for the last couple of days. As you can see, right, I've been pouring so much education into the YouTube channel because I've been really trying to help you guys out understand the markets. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. If you're struggling right now and you're finding it hard, or if last year was a really, really tough year for you, and you're finding that you just don't seem to be going anywhere, and you're finding that you seem to be struggling, you seem to be hitting a bit of a brick wall. It's like, I see the markets, I see that there's money to be made, but I'm just not sure why. There's something missing in your trading. And so that's what this thing is all about. And firstly, guys, I must neutralize your journey. I must neutralize your journey and say trading is hard. Trading is, as I was saying at the start, trading is probably the most difficult thing you'll ever do on this planet if you want to do it well. Because trading is more about, and people just, this is something that most people don't think. They think it's just give me the trading system and I'll do well. But every single time I speak to you guys on the phone, every single time that I speak to you guys on the phone, it's never about the trading system. I say, okay, cool, your trading system, let's be honest with me, 100% of the time were you disciplined sticking at it? And they'll be like, well, maybe 70% of the time, or I knew I was a bit rushing a bit and, You know, I did get out when I shouldn't, and all that sort of stuff, you know, going on. So if you are going through a tough time right now, please remember that firstly, anything great in your life, you're going to have to go through a lot of difficult pain, right? You can learn so much from a YouTube channel or a course, or even, heck, even my personal, or even my coaching. You know, or even if you know, for you guys that have joined the Master Trader Lab, you know, at mastertraderlab.com, a bit of a plug for you guys there, free trial. Even if you guys are on there, right, I've provided so much education based on the foundations, the chart reading techniques, and the mindset, really mainly focusing on that because that's where the rubber hits the road. And the thing is this, guys, is that firstly, you must understand that you're going to accept the fact that you're not, that it's going to be difficult at the start. But here's the key thing. If you do a few things, firstly, if you firstly have a hard look at yourself and say, okay, what are the habits that you are doing yourself that is creating that? Because it's never the market that gets us, it's always us that gets us. Whenever I'm going through a hard time with the markets and I just want to throw my computer out the window, I'm like, you son of a... And that's what I say. Oh, bah, bah, bah. Whenever I go through those periods in my trading, you know, whenever I go through those periods of trading, it's never the market. It's always me. It's either that I wasn't patient enough, which ultimately means to over trading. I wasn't disciplined enough, which means that there sort of was a setup there, but it wasn't exactly what I was after, so I'll take it anyway, and so on and so forth. Or I got into the trade and it met the plan, but I put too much money on, so I got too emotional and I got it really, really quickly just to see it run on for a nice profit, right? It's like, for you guys that are watching right now, you're probably saying yes, 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 right? Because I still do that from time to time, guys. And like, I'm not perfect, right? I've screwed up so much in my past. And like, even last year, I screwed up a few times. And, you know, it's like, I'm not perfect, but I come to you with some things that really helps me continue moving forward in my life, in my trading. You know, there's times that when I just do really, really well, when I'm consistent, disciplined, and patient. And when I don't, I just, yeah. It's just barrel monkeys. But all I say is that if you want to truly get ahead in the markets, it first starts with you. And you've got to have a hard look at yourself. And this is the reason why most people, most traders, 90% of you watching this here right now won't become good traders in the markets. And you'll be blown out of the markets and you won't be around for, you know, for the next couple of years. The next couple of years, you won't be here. You won't be watching my YouTube channel. You won't be part of the markets. The reason why I've been here 15 years now, you know, I look at my mentors doing for you know, 25 years and more, is because of they stuck at it. Now, I'm not saying that as a negative thing, guys. I'm saying that and coming to you because the number one thing that I have to do myself continuously is to have a hard look at myself. What am I doing to create this? Because if I keep putting the blame onto the market's manipulated, or, you know, it was my coach, or it was this, or it was that, I'm always blaming. If I'm always blaming other things or someone else, I'm never getting the lessons that I need to learn to help me make that next step in my life. So you've either got two choices, and this is for every area of your life. And, you know, even when I went through my cancer and the doctor gave me 6 months to live, you know, this is back 10 years ago when that happened. As you can see, I'm very healthy to this day. I didn't do chemo, I didn't do radiation. I did it on naturally. I'm not going to get into the story, but I had to have a hard look at myself about what I was doing, my eating habits, sleeping, so on and so forth. But that's the reason why, again, guys, I say that 90% of you are not going to be around, not because I'm being harsh on you, it's because I'm trying to show you that if you want to get ahead, you can either do two things. One, you can blame everyone else, and then you'll probably keep doing the same thing over and over again, because we don't actually recognize we're doing the same thing, right? We don't actually recognize our own habits. That's the reason why I have a coach. That's the reason why every major people have coaches out there, is because you don't actually understand. You don't recognize, right? Like, what am I, like, you don't recognize that you're doing the same thing over and over again. It's not until someone points it out to you, it's like, damn, I'm actually doing that, aren't I? And so, you know, by looking at that and by doing that, you can either blame someone else and not get the lesson, or say, you know what am I doing to create this? I can point the finger at someone else, but that's not going to really help me overall. If I am serious about moving forward in my life in any area, whether it's the trading or whatever, then you must start with the foundation, which is you. It's like, what am I doing to create this? Because then when you start to ask those questions, what mistakes am I making? And it's not about pulling yourself down. It's about getting raw and real with yourself. So once you recognize something, then you can start to change it. And that's how you start to make those incremental small steps at a time. And then year after year, when you do that, you start to gain progress in the markets. Where a lot of people, they'll be trading I spoke to a person a while ago. He's been trading for 7 years, but he's done the same thing over and over again. So, if you're going through a hard time when you're trading right now, firstly, welcome to the world of trying to do something which is actually quite difficult, which is trading the markets. And that's the reason why it comes down to so much more than just a trading system. But I also want to say that if you are, it's a really, especially right now, being the start of the year, is to stop and have a hard look at yourself and say, where am I going wrong here? Like, what am I doing here that's causing this? Because when you start to ask those honest questions within inside yourself, you start to find those gems, those answers. And again, it's not a matter of pulling yourself down. It's not a matter of, pulling yourself down and doing that sort of stuff. It's a matter of, it's a matter of figuring out what you need to improve on, so that can be your focus point for today, your focus point for this week, and so on and so forth. But once again, if you are going through a hard time right now, don't give up. You can do this. You can make this. But it takes a really self-awareness of the habits that you're doing. And that's how it starts. One of the reasons why I had my most progressed year, one of my best years last year in progress wise in my trading, was because firstly I had my trading system that I was trading, and I recorded every single trade that I took, wins, losses, trades that I shouldn't have taken, everything. And then it was from that I could go back and review every single trade that I took, look at the trades that I took at the time, look at all the details, and it's like, okay, I record everything in a spreadsheet and also take screenshots of the trades. Even if I shouldn't have taken it, I don't throw it underneath the bus. Like, no, I look at it. And then what I also do is then I review it. It's like, okay, cool, let's go review everything. And then I ask myself, okay, what is the pattern that's showing up again and again and again here? Over the last 1 month, last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, by looking at all my trades that I've been taking, what has been some patterns that I'm recognizing now, because I'm now stepping back and looking at it logically. Because when we're in a trade, right? When we're in a trade, there's an emotional attachment there. Like, I'm in 3 trades myself right now. Now I don't get too emotional about it now because I've been doing it for so long. I've had so many trades in my life, thousands of trades in my life. I don't get emotional about the trading right now. It is what it is. Some are going to make a profit, some are going to make a loss. Most of them make a profit now for me, which is because I'm a lot more patient now. I don't trade a lot now. But the reason why I don't trade a lot, by the way, is because of that recording every single trade, then reviewing it, and then saying, okay, where do I need to improve on? And for me, was over trading. I was trading way too much, way too much. And the fact of the matter is still a while ago, I would say at least 70% of the trades that I was taking still weren't exactly what I was looking for. I was still forcing, I was still trying to rush it. And, there might not have been a trade for a week. So I try to get into something, and then I end up going backwards. And it wasn't until I went back over a period of many months and started to see this pattern by stepping back and say, okay, what was going on at that time? Then I could start to say, okay, so I can see by me doing all this, it's actually causing me to go backwards. But when I slow down, I only take the best trades. I only take a quarter of the trades I'm taking. I save in brokerage, and most of the trades that meet my plan actually run on for profits. So if I just slowed down and only took those trades, I'd actually be up. And then I started calculating all the money that I was actually losing from taking those bullshit trades that I shouldn't have taken. And that's when the light bulb started going off my mind. It's like, so now I link so much pain to getting into something when I know I shouldn't, only because I've seen my results over time. And you don't really get that lesson until you see your money on the line, right? So on my spreadsheet, it's like, okay, I put 10 grand on this trade, I put 5 grand on this trade, I put 25 grand on this trade. And when I got out of it, this is how much I lost, or this is how much I made. So I don't really like to focus on the dollar figure, but when I'm going through those mistakes, but it's like, okay, and I say to myself, can you see by you doing this, by not being patient and disciplined, and only taking those setups that meet your rules 100%, can you see how much money you're actually losing by going backwards from this? And this was a switch for me to say, you know what, this is what I need to be focusing on. And now I was very, very grateful that the losses I had were small and the profits that I had were big, and so on and so forth. But it really started to switch for me. And I'm trying to share this with you, was that was a light bulb for me. But I couldn't recognize, firstly, I had the mentality of everything is my fault. And it's only up to me to fix it. I had that mentality. And so even if I give my money to someone else to invest with and he loses it, it was still my responsibility. I still gave him the money, you know. You know, that's essentially how I became $250,000 in debt. Borrowed the money, then gave it to someone else. He lost it for me, and then I was still responsible for it. So, and ever since then, I've only got, you know, I've learned that there's only two things in life. Firstly, you can blame everyone else, and then you're probably going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Or secondly, have a hard look at yourself, not to pull yourself down, but you say, you know what, I'm doing this so I can actually start to have some breakthroughs, and then you can start to break through in your life and have and start to actually make the progress, you know. And over the next 12 months of you doing this, you'll start to see, I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to get it. But it all comes back down to your consistency, discipline, and patience. And then that self-awareness. Consistency is that, you know, when I said before, like, are you consistent in your trading? You know, what I mean by that is that your last 5 trades, were they all because they met the same plan, or was it because you got into this one here because you thought this, or you got into this one here because you thought that, so on and so forth? The most consistent, successful traders that I know that do really, really well from the markets, we're talking 7 figures or more, they have their setup, and then they don't trade until their setup appears. So I want to come on here to give you a bit of a, you know, I do a lot of technical stuff with the charts, as you can see on this channel, but I wanted to come on and say, okay, you know what, don't be pointing the finger at other people, but have a hard look at yourself and say, you know what, but have that mentality of that I'm never giving up, but I can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. And then have to sit down and say, okay, what are the mistakes that I'm doing? Like, how am I trading this? Do I even have some sort of a plan? Or do I just get in because I think it's a good idea? You know, like, that's where you need to start, right? Which is consistency at trading a plan. Then you're disciplined, you're only trading that plan. And then patience, you know, as long as you have to. And when you start to do this, you start to make those breakthroughs. When you start to do that, you start to make the breakthroughs, and that's how you start to make that progress. And before you know it, 2 months later, 3 months later, 6 months later, 12 months later, you start to really gain some confidence in your trading, because every single day you're getting a little bit better. And it all comes back down to that self-awareness. Like, what are you doing? What is your habits around that? And that also comes back down to another, which really opens up a case of, you know, your mindset. Like, what do you believe? Do you truly believe that you deserve to make money from the markets? Because when I first started trading, I came from a landscape gardening background, laying grass, doing rockeries and sprinkler systems and all that sort of stuff. So that was my background. So for me to sit down and click a button and make 10 grand, I'm thinking, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was so far-fetched from me, because fantastic, Nish, fantastic. It was so far-fetched from me, because I then started being like, hang on, I actually didn't do anything for this work. Like, I clicked the button, I looked at the market for half an hour. I clicked the button, got into an option trade, and then 2 days later, I got out of it, made 10 grand or made 5 grand. It's like, and so that was hard for me to get over, because now not only was I struggling with, the consistency, discipline, and patience, but of the trading system. But this back when I first started 15 years ago. But when I did put a trade on and I made a lot of money, then I started feeling guilty. I'm like, hang on a minute, I just made 10 grand on this trade. My friends don't even make 5 grand a month, and they're out there busting their ass 8-10 hours a day. Do I, who am I? And then that's what I started to say to myself. And so this is the internal dialogue that starts to go on, especially if you come from a laboring background like I did. And that was hard for me for my starters. I had this belief, and it was like, I don't deserve this because I didn't do anything. I don't deserve to make this money because, because normally I would make $1,000 a week. Normally I would make $1,000 a week, but getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and getting home at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, like, that was the mentality that I had, that I didn't realize that went along with my trading. And so when I started to go through that, that was some of the barriers that I had to break through. So as you can see, right, like the trading system really is, and I really do mean this, guys, the trading system really is only about 10% of your success. And if you keep focusing on trying to find a profitable trading system, it's never going to work for you long term, because you're focusing on the wrong thing. Because it's never the market that gets it. Really, at the end of the day, guys, the market can either do 2 things. It can either go up or down. It can go sideways for a little bit, but it only can go up or down. And then when you start to apply simple analysis like trend analysis, you can start to get a good thing there. So there's a bit of background about me, guys, about obviously when I first started, the things that I had to overcome, and then not only that, but then starting to see, like I said before, like when light bulbs started to go off for me, I started realizing that I link so much pain now, like right now, I link so much pain to over trading. I link so much pain to getting into shit that I shouldn't. So that means if I have to sit there for me personally, guys, I don't trade a lot. With my trading system, I have a few more of a longer term trades on that go for about, maybe like 5 or 6 months, like a few trades. But when it comes to my trading system, I don't trade a lot, and I get like over a 90% success rate with those systems. Yes, I am, Trump. Yes, I am. Trump just said, are you a conservative trader? Yes, I am a very, very conservative trader, which means what I mean by conservative, is that I have what I call my A+ setup, and I won't do anything until I get to that A+ setup, because I know that A+ setup gives me a 90+% win-loss ratio. Almost every single trade generates a profit, sometimes a small profit, sometimes a large profit, but it generally, most of the time, it'll generate some sort of profit for me. And so I wait for those setups. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by conservative. And that means if I have to wait, for a whole month, if I have to, 2 months, if I have to wait for that setup to appear on the charts when it comes to the stock market, then I have to. Like right now, when I'm looking at the Forex and the futures market and stuff like that, like I do that sort of trading as well. 2-minute charts, 5-minute charts, the exact same system I trade on the stock market, and now, like right now, when I'm trading the futures and Forex. And also do a bit of crypto trading as well too. Yes, it's the exact same system. And if like when I'm intraday trading on the stock market, when I'm intraday trading, when I'm intraday trading on the futures and Forex market, then my job is to trade the markets. And my mentor, my 7-figure mentor said, he said, John, you are paid to wait. He said, so that means if you're looking at the markets 4 or 5 hours a day or 6 or 7 hours a day, and you're looking at those 2-minute charts, 5-minute charts like with the futures market like I do, he said, your job, you are paid to wait. He said, so your job is to sit there and wait as long as you have to until that setup appears. Unless it appears, then don't trade. Because the fact of the matter is, and that's what most people do, right? And I've been there before, where you overtrade so much that your account goes backwards because you shouldn't be trading those things in the first place because you're just so impatient. You are paid to wait. Exactly. And that's where, like, you see, like, I see so many of my successful, like right now, my current coach is a multiple 7-figure trader. He trades like between 10 and 12 hours a day. And when he's trading 10 to 12 hours a day, some months he may only take 1 or 2 trades. Some months there might be 5 or 10 trades. So you are paid to wait in the markets. So anyway, guys, I wanted to come on here to basically do this, to share this with you, to say, you know what, if you are going through a hard time right now in your trading, please don't give up. Please don't give up. You can do this. You know, yes, it may take you some time to get there, and you know it generally does. It generally takes you probably 3 times longer than you think. But you can do this. Never, ever, ever give up. If you are serious about doing this and having this as a career for you, then you're going to go through a lot of hard times. It's going to be strong. It's going to be hard because it is difficult. It's the trading is probably, I believe, is one of the most difficult things out there. Like going to the gym every day consistently, that's easy compared to the market. You know what I mean? And once again, the reason why it's hard is because of everything I've said in this session so far. But you can do this. You really, really, really can do this. But don't give up. But every single day, you must be 100% responsible for your own actions and 100% accountable for what you're doing, and say, what am I doing to cause this? What do I need to learn? Because if you start to say things like the market's manipulated, the market got me, that's total BS. That's you pointing the finger at someone else. If you say, oh, I bought this course and then I lost all my money because of him. No, you bought the course and then you put 100% of your trading account onto one trade because you're trying to make money really, really quickly. You know, like take it back. Because if you seriously want to move forward, you've only got 2 choices really. One, point the finger at someone else and you don't get the lesson, so you can't move forward. Or secondly, get the lessons and then say, you know what? I know what my focus point is now. I know what I need to focus on tomorrow and so on and so forth. So I did get some. John, do you trade reading tape? No, I don't. No, not reading tape. The reason why reading tape, I don't believe in it, because the big guys can come and put a fake order in, like for like, you know, 1,000 contracts or 5,000 contracts, and as soon as the price gets down to there, they can, you know, quickly take it away really, really quickly. So, you know, that whole tape reading or market depth type thing. I used to look at that a lot when I used to trade like a lot of the E-mini S&P at nighttime. So I used to look at that with the Dome. I used to use NinjaTrader for that. So I don't use tape for that. I just use the charts. The charts are the king, guys. And as you can see from the education I've been releasing, right, the charts are king. The charts is where it's all out for you. And when you start to focus on that more and you start to get ahead in life that more, that's when you can start to, you know, really, really kick some goals. So guys, if you want to make 2019 the best year ever, start to look at yourself and start to say, where am I going wrong here? What am I doing? What are my habits? How do I really think about the market? Do I really think it's hard? Do I really think it's difficult? Do I believe that I can do this? Where do and say things like, what sort of habits am I doing right now that's causing this? And start to learn those lessons, start to be self-aware so you can start to break through and start to make that progress. And then say also things like, what do I need to learn? Do I need to learn how to read the charts better? If you do, then shameless plug, go to my free trial at mastertraderlab.com, get into that membership area and start going through the two chart reading courses I've got there, because that'll help you get ahead in the markets. you know. But not only that, but also the stuff I got on YouTube as well. And then from there, guys, and that's how you start to make. If you want to make the most progress this year, then that's the foundation we need to work on. So, anyway, guys, never ever ever give up. You can do this. It's not easy, but if you're willing to start to have a hard look at yourself, realize where you're going wrong, what are your habits, and what do you need to focus on to move forward, and take full responsibility, you can have an amazing year this year. So, have an amazing day, guys, and I will speak to you soon.